What up, YouTube? It's NoChainzz, and I'm back for another commentary, and we are finally here to the off season. And before we get into like the actual moves, the draft, the free agency, stuff like that, we're gonna take a look at the season awards. And for the MVP, number one was Aaron Rodgers. It seems like he wins them, and all of them. Coming in sixth place was our very own Colin Kaepernick. Here are a few of the other quarterbacks who made the list. Coach of the year is such a robbery. It's not me. It's actually Jim Harbaugh. I don't know where his team went, but I was a Super Bowl coach. I'm not sure why I'm not the coach of the year. So for the AFC Offensive Player of the Year, number one is Joe Flacco. Third, it was Kaepernick. Defensive Player of the Year, Kirk Morrison. Never heard of him before. Don't kill me. I've never heard of him. Offensive Rookie of the Year, and a robbery was not Justin Blackmon. I think anything that a Jacksonville Jaguar did not win was a robbery, and I believe Andrew Luck got that one. And Defensive Rookie of the Year is Zach Brown. Best QB, however, is Colin Kaepernick. So that's good. He won the Best QB. Second was Joe Flacco. He did play well, though. Aside from his fumbling, he played very, very well. Almost tripling. I believe he actually did triple his interception total with touchdowns. So, best running back, not Maurice Jones-Drew. He was hurt for a short time of the season. Best wide receiver is Justin Blackmon, and it is very explosive to have the best QB and the best wide receiver on one team together, so they can just feed off of each other. And we're going to be adding some small pieces to the offense to make it a little better. You know, of course, we're going to go into a more run-oriented offense. At the beginning of the last season, I got kind of Kaepernick happy. I was happy that I got him, so I was deciding to pass it a lot. And Maurice Jones-Drew was hurt for part of the season, so I was just passing a lot last season. So next year, I'm going to change my scheme to run heavy. I'm going to run about 60 or 50% of the time. So that is really good for us. I hope you guys are paying attention to these awards because I'm not reading them out. I'm kind of talking about my team. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be adding a few pieces. And we're going to look at the NFC now, though. Offensive Player of the Year, Aaron Rodgers, also the MVP. Defensive Player of the Year, Darrell Washington. I'm not sure who that is. He's an 89 overall, though. Offensive Rookie of the Year is also Robert Griffin III. So his team was bad, though. I think they have like a top 3 pick. Robert Griffin played well, but his team was not doing the same thing. And Calvin Johnson won the best wide receiver. Adrian Peterson won the best running back. And best offensive lineman, Joe Staley. And best defensive lineman, John Abraham. We don't have anybody. Oh, this is the NFC, so you won't see any Jaguars here. I'm sorry. And this is going to wrap up best kicker, and I think that's all for the awards. I didn't look at the stats, but I hope you guys are satisfied with that. And right here, I'm going to take an extension / level increase with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I actually had a great year. Great fun, you know, playing with this team. And here are the players that we need to re-sign. So, first and foremost on this list is Rasheem Mathis. I don't think he's pictured here, but I really need to re-sign him. He played well in the playoffs, was playing well all year. So, I'm going to offer him that. I think I offered him a little bit more than what he wanted, I believe, because that's the guy that we want to have happy. He is a leader of this defense. And another guy on defense that we do want to retain, the only defensive tackle that I will retain from last season is Terrence Knighton. So you'll see a complete overhaul. I'll be scaling the free agency market for a tight end. Not a tight end, the defensive tackle. Speaking of tight end, I'm going to get Zach Miller. I'm going to try to lock him up because he played well in the backup game. And Stovall is not good, so he's not going to be back. So I want to lock in Zach Miller as my backup tight end or number 2 tight end for the jumbo packages. But he rejected it. Rasheem Mathis accepted, and Terrence Knighton accepted. But Zach Miller said rejected. Looks like it's time for the free agency. So right here, I'm going to cut my defensive tackles because, like I said, Terrence Knighton is the only one that I want to retain. Fred Robbins was only a 1-year deal. We didn't resign him. I actually franchise tagged our kicker. If you don't know what that means, it basically means I sign you for 1 year. I don't even know what it means. I'm trying to tell you guys what it means. I don't really know what it means. I just know that it locks in one franchise player to play for them another year. But here's the free agency market. just my luck that the best player in free agency is a defensive tackle, so I'll be going after him. So I'm just looking at the wide receivers because I do want another wide receiver because Laurent Robinson will be cut because I don't think he performed to the best of his abilities, and he actually went really soft and stale in the second half of the season. He played well throughout the first half, but was non-existent throughout the second half. But look at Laurinaitis. I wanted a middle linebacker. There was such a market for middle linebackers, and I wanted one to play next to Posluszny in the 3-4 that I'm switching to next year to try to better stop the run. But I was scouting Jabari Wilson, middle linebacker. I forgot what college he went to, but he's coming out in the draft. I scouted him. Everything he has is what I need: speed, hit power, tackling, play recognition, everything. So I'm going to look forward to drafting him. And also, I was looking at LaRon Landry to get a better safety to come in and stop the run, because that's what I'm thinking about this whole offseason, stopping the run and making a few subtle upgrades to the offense to make it run better. I was considering LaRon Landry. He would be a good safety. And then I forgot that his brother plays for us already and he won the Super Bowl MVP. I'm just going to hope that he gets better, and if something goes wrong next season, I'll just have to switch him up and get another one. But here I'm going to offer a contract to Randy Moss. The reason why I'm trying to get him is because I think he is a really good receiver, and I really think Justin Blackmon can learn from him, and those two can thrive off of each other, and they can be really explosive. I think Randy Moss still has a little bit left in the tank, and he will be very useful for this Jaguars team. And Cedric Griffin, I'm going to sign him too because he fits my scheme. 3-4, I'm switching to it next year, and he can definitely tackle. And with Greg Jones walking, I'm going to try to get Jacob Hester, a fullback who plays in a vertical offense, but I like that he's fast and I could send him out on a route whenever I wanted to. But I'm going to withdraw my offer from Albert Hainsworth right here. And because I don't think he's worth it, I'm going to try to go for Casey Hampton, I believe. And all three of these guys signed so far, so that's really good. And I'm not going to show you guys the draft. I'm just going to show you guys the results of the draft. And one person that did not re-sign and played very well in the playoffs is Josh Cribbs. He rejected our offer. So I thought that was really disrespectful, and also he was a free agent at the end of everything. So at the beginning of the preseason, he's a free agent. And here's a trade that I made for Blaine Gabbert for a 4th round pick. They would not give up a 3rd round. I tried to send him to the Cardinals for a 3rd round. They said no. But here is my draft results. Kashawn Gray, my 1st round pick, middle linebacker, he's going to be playing next to Posluszny. I drafted a wide receiver. I'm going to be looking at their overalls. The wide receiver, Matt Anderson from Southwest Mississippi State, I believe that is. I think he was a 67 overall. I was kind of disappointed with that. But he's going to be playing special teams and played a few preseason games, which I will not show. I'll be only showing week 1 and up. He's like a Jordan Shipley clone, like a direct clone of Jordan Shipley. So, and I believe in my middle linebacker, Kashawn Gray, I played with him. He is really good, fits my scheme really well. The defense is going to get better. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just going to say that the defense will get better. But Jaleel Joseph, my cornerback that I drafted, he was a 64, I believe. So if you have any questions, I do realize that I think I missed some stuff or some stuff that you might have been wondering. Yeah, leave a comment. Let me know if you have any questions, because like I said, I don't think I covered everything. So if you have any questions, just leave them down as a comment. I'm sorry if I didn't go for the big free agent name that I know some of you guys might have wanted me to. I won the Super Bowl. I don't think I needed too much of an upgrade at too many positions. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys are happy with these moves, and I'll see you guys in week 1 of the 2nd season.